So a few weeks ago, I went to my new student dialogue at Clemson, and the one that I chose was How Prejudice Changes the World. I was actually really interested in it because I think everyone has prejudices, but a lot of times no one really knows why they have those prejudices. And one of the things that we did at this new student dialogue is they gave us a wheel, and it had things on it like what's your race, your gender, your age, your sexual preference, things like that. And we all had to put in our information, and then we kind of had to choose which ones were the most important to us, and we had to like give them a percentage and like how much of the wheel they were important to you, and then we had to go around the room with different people paired up and go through which ones were more important to us and kind of compare like which ones are more important for different people. And I really found that to be interesting because with people that were maybe like a different gender than me or a different race than me, we had different things that were more important to us, especially things like religion and how important like your race was for like people maybe who were African American compared to Caucasian. And I found that to be really interesting actually. And then we also um, had to compare two different religions, and it was interesting because I found out that I didn't know as much as I thought I did about the different religions. I found out that I had a lot of misconceptions that were pretty, I guess, consistent with the group, but there were a couple of informed people who knew a lot more than we did, and that was really interesting to find out that stuff. Um, we made a compare and contrast, and what my partner and I chose was Judaism and Christianity, and we found it easy to find a lot of differences, but not very many similarities. And I found that to be interesting because I've considered myself to be pretty knowledgeable about Judaism and Christianity and how they were so intertwined, but I didn't know as much as I thought I did. Um, Another thing that we did is we held discussions about different things, including why the Muslims want to create Islam mosque right near the World Trade Center. Um, we discussed that in some length, and it was really interesting for me to get to hear different opinions as to whether or not it should be built or why it shouldn't or why it should. And I actually had to rethink my opinion on the whole matter because the people in our group gave different viewpoints that I really hadn't thought of. It was very eye-opening for me to hear from different people that maybe I wouldn't have normally talked to if I was in a group with my friends. I thought that was a really good idea that they had people just randomly put together, and so you couldn't really join with your friends, and it was really enlightening to get to speak to people when you didn't have any expectations or anything like that. We also watched a movie about a religion who commonly gets confused with Islam, and in America that they commonly get mistreated because they are so some of their like dress habits and things like that sort of resemble that of the Muslims, and I found it to be really interesting that they are really not persecuted but looked down upon when they haven't done anything wrong. And it wasn't even the clip that we watched. It wasn't even by an American news company. It was in Russia, and so the fact that people in Russia know something that our people in America should be really aware of, I found that to be kind of disturbing that it's been so overlooked in America, but it's so blaringly obvious to people in other countries. So that was one thing that I thought was really interesting. I did enjoy going to the new student dialogue. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Our I guess mediators, or the students that were in charge, I thought they were really great at giving their different perspectives as well, but still being open to other students to talk and kind of lead the discussion and bounce off of each other and make different comments. So overall, I really did enjoy going. I think it should be continued because it's a good way for students to get to meet different people and to find different things to talk about. So I guess that's it.